remember, as he said, row B, starting with Mikey Sherrill, don't get off the line, please, because some people, y'all don't do that. Some people, they just vote the top of the ticket and they go out. Stay on the line all the way down. All these candidates need you, and the school board candidates need you. Our next speaker, we're rushing. I only stood up for the mayor, not out of disrespect, but for the fact that our keynote speaker has to get back to North Jersey. And whenever we call Ras Baraka in Atlantic City Council President, my witness, he comes, he stands up, he speaks out, and not only is he an articulate and eloquent speaker, he is a masterful mayor of the largest city in the state of New Jersey. And he is someone who shows that you can be an activist, a compassionate person, and a good manager. He's a good manager, he's a good person, he's a man of faith, and he is our speaker for today. Let's give Atlantic City welcome to Mayor Baraka.
I feel like singing, but I'm not. I need I just first want to thank the shepherd of this house, the pastor here, who allowed us to be here to have an old-fashioned church basement meeting, like they had in Montgomery during the bus boycott, when African-American women filled the basement and fell on the Montgomery Improvement Association. All of the ushers came downstairs, the cooks, and made sure that we didn't ride those buses for over a year in order that we get justice in Montgomery and throughout the South. So I appreciate you for allowing us to be in here because this election is more than just an election, and I think we need to understand that because we have not understood that yet. We're taking it as just another election. Now, and I want to thank Councilman Shabazz and all of the folks, Stephanie, and all of the folks that invited me to Atlantic City to be here today. I appreciate it. I'm just a soldier in this army. You know this is important. If I took time to come on a Tuesday night all the way down to Atlantic City, which ain't close, to make sure that I lent my voice in this effort to make sure Mikey Sherrill is the next governor of the state of New Jersey. I want to thank the mayor here, Mayor Small, in Atlantic City as well, for being here, being present, for galvanizing folks today. Also understanding the importance of this race. This is incredibly important. This is not a simple election that we're talking about. We're talking about, in less than a year, 300,000 African-American women lost their jobs. That's right. We're talking about the unemployment rate in our community rising. Not going in the other direction, but in the wrong direction. We're talking about them removing people from museums. We're talking about them banning books. We're talking about them taking away Medicaid and health care from working families, for giving the multi-rich, the multinational wealthy and rich in this country huge tax breaks at the expense of working women's children, right? This is what we're talking about. Them attacking education, them attacking opportunity, and them being blatant about it in public because they think you can't do anything about it. Why? Because they control both houses of Congress, because they control the presidency, because they have a Supreme Court that has made him the king. This is what's happening. And at the same time, still trying to gerrymander and redistrict to get your vote to mean less and less and less, to steal the midterm elections right before your very eyes. And we're looking at this thing and not believing our lying eyes. We think that this is a regular election, but this is not a regular election. And people ask me why I'm in this, because we don't have any other choice. We have to be together. And so the problem is we find reasons to be against one another while our enemies make good on us. We debate and fight each other on social media and find the smallest thing to fuss with each other about. Meanwhile, they're robbing our riches and hurting our families, destroying our opportunity, and making it difficult for us to do anything. And so there's the moderate amongst us who believe that if we just let the rule of law work, that somehow we'll get through this. The problem is they don't believe in the rule of law. They're not waiting for your rules or your law. And in the meantime, they're doing whatever they want to do while we have our lips poked out and fussing at the television, getting mad at social media while they throw Jimmy Kimmel off the air. This is what's happening. They're attacking free speech. They're attacking your ability to practice your religion. They're kidnapping people off of the streets in cities across this country, sending them to countries they don't know about, and using our differences with one another as a means to keep this stuff going, because they know the old adage, the old poem that was said when fascism was rising. When they came for the communists, I didn't speak out because I wasn't a communist. When they came for the socialists, I didn't speak out because I wasn't a socialist. When they came for the Jews, I didn't speak out because I wasn't a Jew. When they came for the labor unions, I didn't speak out because I wasn't in the labor union. And when they came for me, there was nobody left to speak out. And that's where we are. We're in a situation where we have to speak out. All of us collectively and together have to say something about what's going on. And the problem is we use fear as strategy. We think we rationalize to ourselves that we're being strategic when we should just say we're scared. Right. Because we just admitted the fact that we're afraid to lose the little bit we got. We're afraid to lose the little bit we have. We'll be the first generation that's afraid to sacrifice for our children like our grandmothers and grandfathers sacrificed for us. Why, you wouldn't even be able to sit in this church with each other like this if it wasn't for fights your grandmother and grandfather had. You wouldn't be able to elect a woman to be the governor of the state of New Jersey if it wasn't for women's liberation movement and people fighting and organizing across this country. You wouldn't be able to do the things you do, and we take it for granted. And this man, Chitterelli, if you listen to that debate, if you heard him speak at that debate, he tried his best to avert or hide who he really was. But if you listen carefully, it sneaked out from time to time. You can hear it in his tone, in his voice, in the way he dismissed integration and segregation, and what he said, that we should only build affordable housing in inner cities, that if black schools were doing well, we wouldn't want integration in the first place. I beg your pardon. God made me brilliant and beautiful on purpose. We don't want integration because we think we failed it. We want it because we believe in democracy. And we think that it's the right thing to do. And these dog whistles that he's putting out there to scare people across this state to say we want to stay away from the policies that Mikey Sherrill is pushing, we have to raise our voices against this. That's why I wrote an op-ed. One, because he talked about Newark, he need to keep our name out of his mouth. Especially you don't know what he's talking about. And two, because what he was saying was designed to create a larger rift. A rift racially and a rift economically, right, to have us apart from one another. Now, there's some people I argue with every day because in their mind they believe Jack Chitterelli is going to help them. I don't know why they got this in their mind. The same people who probably believe Trump was going to help them. They believe, and they was in for a rude awakening. You know, they had the Latinos for Trump before they got deported. They had the African Americans for Trump before they lost their job. And today, you got these people that I argue with every single day telling me, oh, Chitterelli is going to care about black businesses. Listen, when did he ever care? When did they do anything? And what they want to do is place our problems at the feet of the Democrats. Now, I don't disagree, because I don't mince my words. Sometimes I wonder why they got me around here surrogating for them, because they don't know I liable to say anything, right? But at the end of the day, I don't mince my words. So if you know I support somebody, I'm supporting them. The reality is, yeah, the Democrats have not done things that we need them to do. They have not stepped up to the plate like we need them to step up to the plate. But we can't count on the Republicans to do it. We can't count on the right wing to do it. We can't count on the wolf in sheep's clothing to do it. We have to have discernment. We pray for discernment so we begin to understand the devil is the devil on Thursday and Friday, Saturday and Sunday, Monday and Tuesday. The devil will always be the devil. Now, I can have problems with my brother, problems with my sister. We're going to fight about it, but we ain't letting the devil in our house. The at Thanksgiving. He ain't welcome around Christmas. He ain't welcome to no holiday. He can't come to the door of my house. We have to have discernment here. We have to be clear who Jack Chittarelli represents. He represents MAGA. And we know who these people are. We can't have them in Trenton. We can't have them in New Jersey. We need to run them the heck out of here as fast and as quick as we possibly can. Right? And these people call me and they say, oh, Mayor Baraka, I like you and when I become the governor, so forth and so on. I said, I'm working to get rid of you. I'm working to see that you don't have a job. Because if you get in power, we all in trouble. All of us are in trouble. Every last, I don't care where you live, you in trouble. Your taxes are going to go up, and the lie that he tells you is he's going to lower your taxes. But in order for him to do that, he's going to take away your services because he's not going to get the money from the billionaires who they gave it to. He's going to allow the billionaires to have tax breaks. Now, you can't give billionaires tax breaks and working people tax breaks at the same time. Somebody got to pay the bill, right? And so if he's going to continue to give them a tax break and give you one too, he's going to attack your pension. He's going to attack the school system. He's going to attack your health care. He's going to attack every social program that exists for homelessness, to feed children, after school programs. Whatever he's going to do, he's going to attack it. And guess whose programs he's going to take first? Guess whose neighborhood he's coming to first? Guess whose community he's going to show up at first? Yeah, he's going to give the police the right to choke your children at bus stops for no reason at all. This is exactly, they're opposed to any and every progress that we make. 60 years of progress in this country taken away in less than a year. In less than a year. And this man has a lot of nerve to say that he's running for office dressed in MAGA clothing. So he hasn't condemned Donald Trump. In fact, he talked at the debate about good things that Donald Trump has done. I don't know one. That's what he talked about. Him saying slavery had some good, was okay. Did he condemn that? No. Like, this guy is a dangerous person. What makes him dangerous is that people don't think he is. He can sneak among you and pretend to be you and rob you right before your very eyes. That's why I'm going for Michael Show. That's why I'm organizing myself, my people, my family, my friends, the folks that I know, and the folks I argue with at the cigar bar. And tell them what you're saying doesn't make sense, sir. You have to vote for Mikey Sherrill because you have a better chance to get what you want with her than you can with him. That's just a fact. And I'm going to sit down on this. My daddy used to vote for Sharp James all the time. I tell this story like he used to vote for Sharp James, but in the house he talked about him all the time. All the time. Confused me growing up. I was like, I didn't understand how you voting for a person that he's talking about every day. He said, well, I continue to vote for him because I can argue with him. Because I know where he lives. I know the bars he likes, the restaurants he go to. I can show up and shake his hand and we can fuss about the things we have a problem with. So I vote for this guy because the other person, I don't know him. I can't argue with him. I can't fight with him. And he don't want to listen to anything I have to say. We have to be able to struggle with one another. That's what democracy is about. We have to be able to struggle with each other and get us to a point where we begin to fight for the things that we all need collectively. That's what we have to be. And what even the difference is that the Congresswoman and I have, she calls me on the phone, sometimes early in the morning, to talk to me about the things that she's done or the things that we disagree about. I appreciate that, because she don't have to call me at all. She calls me about these issues, and we can disagree on the phone. And I can say, well, I don't agree with that, but this is what I think should happen. And that is what democracy is about. That's ultimately what we want, not book bannings. Not taking money from schools because they're teaching multicultural history, right? Not taking money from cities because they're hiring women. This is not what democracy is about. That, my friends, that is autocracy. That, my friends, is something that we don't want to be, right? That's moving us to a government that is not for the people and by the people. We want the opposite of that. And I think Mikey Sherrill represents what we need in New Jersey. And on November the 4th, I'm going to vote for him. And I'm proud to say I'm going to vote for him on November the 4th. I'm going to do it. And I'm telling everybody I know to do the same thing. And I urge everybody in this church to go outside and do the same thing. Mayor Small said, like, your life depends on it. Your life do depend on it. Matter of fact, more than that, your children's lives. Your children's lives. That's not a joke. Your children's lives and their children's lives. Because your children will be fighting for the things that your great-grandmother won for you. And you'll be leaving them a legacy that is worse than a legacy that you inherited. You're letting them fight for stuff that your great-grandmother won for you. That's why your children, what they need is important. So let's get out here, y'all. Let's do the right thing. If I came all the way down to Atlantic City, you know this is real. And I'll go all the way back to another place and speak again. But the reality is, I believe this, I mean it, and I think we all should do the same thing. And yeah, we need to be in the bottom, in the basement of these churches, organizing one another. We need to have old-fashioned church meetings again. We need to hymn again. We need to sing again. We need the souls to the polls again. We need to get out here and we go vote, dress our whole family up in the finest ways that they have, and march everyone down to the poll in their finest Sunday wear, and they slick suits and their shoes, and line up outside the poll, and vote in your Sunday's best, so your children can know how important this is. You got to do it like the Lord told you to do it. Like God said, get up and go vote. You got to do it because this is the right thing to do. It's the just thing to do. It's the democratic thing to do. And it's your obligation to make sure you save this state and save this country. God bless you all.